Hey guys, this is me, Avi Dwivedi, and we are back on a new podcast where we are talking about reality. So it's Tech Reality Podcast. We can also call it TRP. And with me is Nikhil and Mohit. So Nikhil, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So, hey everyone, I am Nikhil Sharma. I am the founder and CEO of Vision. I am an entrepreneur, coder, designer, and a dropper. Uh, so, Vision is basically a deep tech bootstrap startup working on emerging technologies like augmented and virtual reality. That's XR, AI, computer vision, cloud, etc.
Amazing. So Nikhil, first, when I spoke to you about this particular podcast, where we three come from a very different background within the same industry, within the XR industry only. I kept saying that there could be like many roles in XR industry itself, and we three are the example of the different kind of roles and different kind of perspective inside virtual reality and augmented reality industry. So Mohit, uh, same question from you. First, we all are like looking for your introduction as well as would love to know your perspectives on reality tech.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Mohit. I'm founder of a startup called Youth Bus, and we are working in here and we are since like 2015. And primarily we make content. We make content for AR and VR, different devices or different genres. And so yeah, we industry has changed a lot. Just like we were talking a couple of minutes ago कि हम लोगों ने शुरू कुछ और किया था और अभी एकदम अलग अलग रोल्स पे आ गए हैं. So that's true. The technology is really rapidly evolving, and the great thing is that we are enjoying our journey into it. So yeah, so the podcast is basically our conversations that happens every week on WhatsApps and other social media platform. But we are kind of formalizing it and producing it as a video for others also to join and kind of get the conversation.
Exactly, Mohit. So this podcast is like the conversation we already have and having for like quite a while about what's coming up and what's happening in the tech industry and where to, for example, shift your focus now. So let's start with that. So again, questions from you two guys. That what you think that right now running in the XR industry, what's happening all over. So Nikhil.
Sure. So, yeah, firstly, it's been exciting. And ever since we started talking on Clubhouse about it, I guess over 2 years ago, and it suddenly got popularized as the metaverse. I guess me and everyone else is fairly bored and irritated by that term, but the technology behind it of extended reality or augmented and virtual reality still stays. It's been growing rapidly ever since. There have been downfalls, but I would say the next 2 to 3 years are really exciting, especially in India. Anyone building or building hardware, software products or experiences, even games, anything related to XR or AI is definitely damn to grow.
That's totally true. And Mohit, what's your take on this? What's the current
So
scenario
yeah,
of the XR game?
uh, since we are more into making content for different clients and different businesses. I am saying that AR and VR is getting. First of all, I'm seeing a lot of people in pop culture referencing it. So now, if making an advertisement or talking about technology, they can't do it without mentioning VR. It's like no more something that used to be VR is dead, VR is dead. So many people, you know, they always used to demotivate us. But nowadays, if you're talking pop culture, that too, if you're talking about sci-fi technology, and you can't do it without mentioning VR. And since I myself work with different companies and making content for them, tailored content and specific content for them. So what I am seeing is that the clients that I used to get earlier, they were very like big ones, like government organizations or science centers, exhibitions. But nowadays, I'm seeing that people who are on a very medium segment, I can say, companies who are just like startups or don't have those big numbers, they are not unicorns. Even small companies or even small outlets, business outlets, they are also asking for VR content. Like, how can we promote our services into VR? So, in content, there is so much of, evolution, so much of demand, and it's only rising now.
So very well said. As we all thought in starting, the customer of virtual reality or augmented reality is basically the big museums or maybe the big organizations where we can like deploy some product and give them some kind of aid. But right now, as we can also see, a lot of like individual players, um, in fact, like a single person company or like people who are like professionals are taking advantage of VR, like virtual reality and augmented reality. Business cards is a good example. Marriage invitations happening in virtual reality, and these kind of scenarios, like people are creating individual marketing portal where they are like showcasing their products. These kind of apps are like coming. Like I have seen these kind of apps becoming like a big deal now, and which is like really rare. So, Nikhil, again, so a lot of, as you said, your company is working on AI as well. A lot of generative AI, especially Chat GPT and other tools, are making a lot of news. So the Bard is there, then Midjourney is there, and then so many of like hundreds of tools are like earlier. The last year were like metaverse year, but this year is generative AI and the era of AI. So, what's your take on the blend of XR and AI?
So, personally, I feel hype cycles and marketing terms will keep on coming and going, be it Web3 at first, then the metaverse hype, and then suddenly generative AI, but now it's not up to everyone's expectations suddenly. So these technologies existed, they have existed for a very long time, and they are going to definitely grow in the future as well. It's just that suddenly they get popular and suddenly people start hating them again. So in particular to say AI, like we at Vision, we are mostly focused on computer vision in terms of AI, to help it actually grow beyond just the marketing hypes. So AI really caught up, at least in terms of the news about it after DALI and then Midjourney, all the generative models of stable diffusion and things of that sort for generating images and media. Then suddenly ChatGPT caught up the hype, and then Google launched Bard. Uh, Meta started working or launched Llama. Then Unity has launched Views now. Be it, and every company kept on, interacting with AI, be it Photoshop introducing it in their products or many more. This reminds me of the very similar time around 2 years ago where every company suddenly jumped on the metaverse hype and started working on metaverses or VR platforms and things like that for the users or employees and all. So it's nice to see the industry is getting attention, but overall, I would say hype cycles are a part of what the market is, but I don't find them very healthy. They increase users' expectations by a lot, and suddenly, when reality hits, markets collapse and investors start hating markets. Similar thing we saw for, say, NFTs or things of that sort. But yeah, I love the amalgamation of XR and AI. I don't think augmented reality is possible without computer vision or, be it plane detection, detecting surfaces, or even complex computer vision tasks for visual inertial odometry or simultaneous localization and mapping. I mean, all these jargons, but basically they allow the headsets or hardware to be used in 6 DOF, that is 6 degrees of freedom beyond just the older 3 degrees of freedom that something like a Google Cardboard or Geodive provided. So yeah, it's something very integral. AI or especially computer vision, sometimes machine learning, is very important to augmented reality and in terms of virtual reality or even development also, like I mentioned Unity Muse. So they actually introduced a tool that's similar to Chat GPT, but only particular to Unity. Unity is basically a game dev engine, I hope the viewers know, for developing games or AR/VR content or apps and things of that sort, and a lot more stuff. So, yeah, I would say that is all.
Driving from generative AI, I would like to ask now कि XR headset की accessibility जो है उसका क्या scene चल रहा है? So still XR headsets are like expensive. Jio still is not there. Apple We were expecting the price of 3,000, but it's now 3,500. What is the accessibility quotient, and also what are your thoughts on Apple Vision Pro? I, being a professional, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to spend 3,500 just to get that some shading outside of the headset. So, what your thoughts on Vision Pro specifically and expensiveness of the headsets?
Well, so firstly, yeah, indeed, everyone expected, a lot of people in the industry expected it to be $3,000. Instead, they ramped up the price. They justified it saying it's sort of first level version. There would be cheaper versions in the future. But when I look at the specs, I mean, I personally wouldn't even buy it if it was $350 instead of 3,500. But I guess that's just my Apple hater side. Overall, beyond that, Jio, I guess, yeah, they announced in 2019, then in 2020, then you see glimpses once in a year. I've talked to a lot of developers there, but I don't see anything very good or exciting happening there. There are some other companies in India and a lot other startups abroad, be it in the East, in Japan, China, or be it in Europe or even America, which are working on XR headsets, primarily, which are VR pass-through headsets right now. A few companies also working on AR see-through headsets, like was Magic Leap's working, a couple of other Indian startups working on it, but no one has exactly showed the results that, they promised. So the dream that the tech giants have showed hasn't been fulfilled, not even in higher price ranges, I would say. It's not far in the future. The technology for everything exists individually. It's just about time when someone is able to take them together and provide such economies of scale that the costs are dropped down substantially.
I think
Even considering the yeah.
Among us three, Nikhil is dropping a lot of good jargons. So Nikhil, before let's say you wrap up this question, you should also explain what is see-through and pass-through and differences between that.
Sure. So, a headset like the Oculus Quest, when it was launched, it had black and white pass through, which was very, very bad. It was jarring. It was basically using the 4 infrared cameras on it and showing that on the displays. So how pass through works is it uses external cameras, and then ski imagery, it shows that on the display in front of you. The pancake lenses or Fresnel lenses, or the micro OLED or LCD, whichever displays in front of your eyes. So it is basically a more complicated way of looking at the world around. It has a lot of issues ranging from lower PPD, that is pixel density, or the vergence accommodation conflict, the screen door effect. There's a lot of things with that. Whereas see-through is basically optics designed in such a manner that you can actually look at the world around you with a 220-degree FOV, which is of the natural binocular eyes. So something like, say, the glasses you both are wearing right now, the optical system would be like that. The displays would either be placed on the sides or on the top. Now, there's a lot of optical arrangements like that, if I get slightly technical, like birdbath optics. There's LCOS, there's waveguides, and there's a lot more upcoming ones currently under research. There's freeform, there's prisms, and so on. So the end goal, I would say, was always see-through, even when, I guess, in 1968 or 1969, when I was at the world. Working on it at first. Even then, I believe, like, that headset that was called the Sword of the Morphines back then was see-through, and the future goal is also see-through. Companies, say, Meta has said that they would launch see-through glasses in 2025, 2027, 2025, and so on. But for now, because they're restricted by this, I don't know, technology, low age, whatever, political or whichever reasons, they're currently using pass-through, which is sort of a stepping stone till we are able to actually achieve the required see-through glasses that everyone would want and everyone has been promised. Again, the technology for all of it exists. It's just a matter of time in a year or so when it's combined together and it is out there in the market.
Amazing. So see-through always has like a little bit of disadvantages, like not 100% opacity and everything, right? So it's always transparent. You require like a darker room to visualize this and everything.
Not necessarily,
The version I tried mostly had these disadvantage.
Of course. So, use
The earlier
now,
era of see-through, yeah.
yeah, like Engine and all. Basically, the micro OLED display 0.49 inch or 0.7 inch micro OLED displays they use usually have, not very high nits brightness. But as that increases, as companies, mostly in China, have launched displays of 5,000 nits of brightness, which is, significantly brighter than our existing phones and laptops. With better optical systems, see-through has gotten much, much, much better. The total internal refraction, MTF, and everything is just rapidly evolving. So, as you said, it might look dull and all. Thing is, there are a lot of solutions for it. Be it an electrochromic film that can switch from AR to VR mode, be it LCD dimmers, or just covering your eyes if you wanna, with not with the hands, obviously, with some sort of slack
blinders or something, right?
blinders or something of that sort. So there's a lot of solutions for it. But anyways, even personally, I would say I would rather be able to look at the world around me than be completely submerged for 7-8 hours a day.
I have a different take. I love to be submerged and some kind of pass-through camera imaging, which is like high quality, not like Quest. A little much more higher than that would be like a sufficient and better way for that to do. As long as ergonomics is good, I'm feeling comfortable, I'm fine with it. I don't really care about if I'm seeing and looking through a glass, reality is there or not. I don't care much. So coming up to Mohit, the same question. कब सस्ते होंगे headset accessibility का क्या scene है? How and when a common person is gonna get their headset?
See, इंडिया में तो सस्ता होने का एक ही फंडा है, मेक इन इंडिया. The government policy is designed in such a way. Nowadays, you must have seen that consoles and some of the things like steering wheel and pedals, they are also getting very expensive.
Yes.
Reason उसके पीछे है क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ने टॉयज के जो इम्पोर्ट है उस पर ड्यूटी बढ़ा दिया टू इनकरेज मेक इन इंडिया. अच्छी बात है, होना चाहिए, धीरे धीरे होगा भी. बट वही है कि अभी जैसा प्राइसिंग है, सो आई थिंक देर आर सम प्लेयर्स हु आर सेलिंग द हेडसेट इन मार्केट ऑलरेडी ऑन अमेजोन. सो अर्लियर तो हेडसेट का कोई सीन ही नहीं था. लाइक वी वर डिस्कसिंग कि इंडिया में क्वेस्ट 3 कब आएगा. तो देर आर 3 पॉसिबिलिटीज़ कि पहला तो क्वेस्ट 3 खुद लॉन्च हो जाए इंडिया में तो आपको जल्दी मिलेगा. दूसरा, आपका दोस्त लेते आए जल्दी. तीसरा, जो इम्पोर्टर्स है वो 1 महीने का टाइम तो लेते ही है. सो दैट्स द bandwidth of waiting for a VR headset in India right now. And God knows when they are going to make it in India, because Facebook making hardware in India, I didn't know when it is going to happen. It does invest a lot of money in India in PR and activities and all things. And for hardware kind of commitment, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And other players such as Pico and even DTVR, they are more.
What is DPVR? I'm not aware of. What is
DPVR is the one that you used to see in malls.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's a Chinese company. I mean,
Chinese company, yeah.
big one. I mean, if you ask me about volume wise,
I have mostly seen Vive in malls as well.
Yeah.
No, that egg VR that you see, you must have seen. जो अंडा वाला जो होता है, those people, they use DPVR. I mean, those headsets are, most of these rides and motorcycles and VR or toys, they use DPVR. So they are also very aggressive in India. And so yeah, so just like Jio का headset जो आया अभी, Jio Dive. So yeah, that's a old thing definitely, but they are building infrastructure. They are building everything. I mean, they broadcasted the IPL in 360 with multi-camera, something which is Apple Vision Pro is saying is going to be one of its selling points.
Yes, selling
Apple
point.
Vision,
Of course, have you guys experienced that GeoDive multi-camera setup? I haven't seen it personally. You've tried?
I tried it on my cell phone. I mean, I was, since I have seen the pain of streaming in VR, so I know that it was really good thing. All they need to do is just create a package for Oculus, and it can, the IPL can go 360 right next.
And once you have the streaming setup and everything there, converting it to any Oculus or any other headset is the easy part.
Yeah, they have done I mean, they are creating the infrastructure. So I wish if they can Instead of going for an AR glass, go for a VR headset, 6 of VR headset in between of the AR thing, because the AR glass, I don't know इतना acceptance होगा भी कि नहीं यार.
Leave it
Sci-fi.
both. They went for cardboard.
Yeah, that's because
They took a step back in time.
to create the basic infrastructure and to take it public finally.
Not.
I think 1500, 1800 pricing is, I think, fine. Because let's say the infrastructure they want to give it is the same behind the upcoming Jio Glass as well. Right? The app store, the infrastructure what they are building is same. So I think they want कि थोड़ा सा आदत लग जाए सस्ते headset से, and then they can make a entry point into the.
But it's like let's assume that everyone in India uses that headset. 90% of people are gonna get nauseous by it because people have bad phones with bad IMs, bad cameras. So that spoils the image of VR for everyone. Like even when I asked my father to try VR for the first time on an Oculus or something, he or anyone else is sort of shy about it, knowing that they're gonna get nauseous because the previous experience they had with something like a cardboard VR was pathetic. So I won't even call it VR. Like if you don't have, it's just a plastic box that you can put your phone in and that's all.
I think जितने भी experiences phone पे processor पे चल रहे हैं सबका यही हाल है, क्योंकि if you don't have a dedicated processor experience को आप नहीं ले जा सकते एक quality.
यार बिल्कुल नहीं. XR2 जो आया चिप वो तो एकदम ही डेडिकेटेड में भी डेडिकेटेड है. XR2 और जो अब कौन चिप्स बना रहा है. But Geodive, I don't think the aim for Geo right now is to give it in every house, because if that was the aim, you would have seen it everywhere being advertised and even being sold. I don't see on counters, even in Reliance.
Saw it anywhere. I don't
So it's more, I think it's more kind of experiment, POC kind of thing, and which is good. Let it go. Kuch to aaye.
Yep. They do advertise it with IPL, I guess, right? On the TV screens.
Yes. And so
if they actually wanted people, if their excuse is that it's for awareness or anything, then they could have easily sold it for $200 to $50 because it costs lesser than that on Alibaba and all. And it definitely costs them lesser to manufacture.
Alibaba thing was very substandard. Alibaba is over substandard. I have bought stuff from Alibaba. I have bought the VR Box 2.0. It's very substandard thing. If you buy it for 250 rupees, you get 100 pieces, chances are 25 to 30 pieces won't even have lenses inside it.
So I definitely feel the value within these Quest headset or इस तरीके के range के जो headset है, like 50 to 60,000 rupees is a really with dedicated, of course, dedicated processor, dedicated camera setup and everything. Inside out tracking headset within 50, 60, 70,000 is definitely a value for money headset.
Definitely.
And those who want a dedicated experience, I think it's not a bad price for these kind of headset. And those who want to really experience metaverse and virtual reality and have enthusiasm, or especially if they can make money out of it, then they should definitely purchase. उसमें ऐसा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. They're also talking about थोड़ा सा premium segment के headset की अगर हम बात करें. So then there is STC Vive का XR Elite. Yeah. Then there is Ajna Lens is coming up with headsets. Then Magic Leap 2 आपके पास है, which is a see-through one. Then we have Quest Pro. So these 4-5 category के ऐसे भी headset हैं जो थोड़ा base से थोड़ा एक step ऊपर जाके थोड़ा premium category आप कह सकते हो, with advanced rendering technology and hardware and everything. So इनका क्या market है? Who's the इनका कौन player है? Plus इनका क्या future है? Are these kind of headsets gonna go up? जैसा एक iPhone का premium segment है, तो premium virtual reality में ज़्यादा चलेगा या base ज़्यादा चलेगा कि क्या लगता है इन सब पे?
So when even Meta launched the Quest Pro or another companies joined the bandwagon, everyone was focusing on prosumers or like enterprise customers and so on, not realizing that their biggest market lied with tech enthusiast consumers who actually cared about gaming and actual tech that they were using. And they didn't add enough value compared to their previous versions, let's say, or versions that costed a third of that, say Quest 2 versus Quest Pro. again, I would just say it was a stepping stone for the Quest 3, so that now they can see this cost one third and has the same displays, has the same good RGB pass through, and so on. So again, I guess they closed the Quest 2 project, and I don't think the Quest 2 would be coming. I'm not really
It's
sure
out
about
of production now.
Yeah, so again, it's like we wanted to away from the market, it's take time to get back the fill. So every headset that you have named till now, I guess costs $1,000 or more, be it Ajna Lens in India or
Yes.
HTC, or the XRT or Quest Pro, and Magic Leap 2 was, I guess, $3,000, $4,000 or something. So that's, I don't think you can even buy it. You should buy it. So yeah, actual market disruption would only happen when the price range of, let's say, $30,000 to $60,000 is rupees. Sorry, is hit. So for maybe a PC version of headsets, 30,000 to 40,000 rupees is decently good, which is like 400-500 levels, and for higher versions, which are, say, independent processors, be it the XRT Gen 2 or something based on Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, or very high-end processors, basically. For them, I would say 50, 60, 70,000 is also a price worth spending at that. But there's a standard beats of features, big eye tracking, hand tracking, inside pouches, wear tracking, faster or rabbit seating better, things of that, RGB better, faster, and things of that sort, which every headset should have, I believe, for you to even consider buying it at this time. Quest 3 might definitely disrupt the market. Definitely an upgrade starting the Quest 3, as in the video was leaked recently, probably Meta leaked it themselves, like the previous Quest Pro time. That's gonna have RGB pass through, that's gonna have a depth sensor. I believe it's a TOS, kind of light fiber color sensor. I don't know if it's gonna have eye tracking going on, but having the pancake sensors. So probably that's gonna be a good purchase. I still don't know what the price will be in India, especially. And one thing is good that Meta realized that they didn't need the DIMMs. Of course, I tried a lot of projects and it's fairly good there. Even when Apple, you just totally gave away controllers, and they were like, just use your eyes and hands, which was pseudo or attractive to. But being sort of a UX designer, I would say that's going to be really inconvenient, especially for something like games. But in the defense, again, that's not their target market. Nobody buys them in Mac or anything for gaming. Neither would anyone buy a G Pro for gaming. But, don't you think that they're doing the same mistake at first that Meta did with the Flash Controller? As looking after the market or looking after users that are not actually a part of the market. So, yeah, that is all I did Buffalo. The XR I guess. In front of the barely, yeah, the changing mechanism, but I personally don't know if I purchased for.
The entire market of STC is, I think, in the South Asian countries, I would say. But majorly, the reviewers we follow are from like US and Canada. So that's why I think we have not seen much. But I know from a few sources that they have sold a good number of units.
Got it. It could be, definitely. And about Ajnalens, so I guess it's the second or third time they launched the headset. Personally, I had better hopes of an Indian company. I like it. Then I guess costs about 85,000 for the normal version without hand tracking, without eye tracking, and I guess over a lakh for the one with hand and eye tracking. And I guess somehow, well, they could have done better. I guess they shouldn't have wandered around so much in tech and they've called themselves in like the shortage and then get to put it. Now again back to headsets now. I guess they could increase the production quality a bit and they could add their own touch sort of to it instead of just, getting a plain normal reference design and just branding the logo. There's a lot more that can be done.
I think I love the design of the headset, but controller can be like much better. I think controller can be modified.
Just from the reference design. If you look at the Lynx R1 or something, they look very similar. Or even another Qualcomm's partner provides a reference design very similar to it. So,
but also about Ajna, one thing I liked about Ajna is the software and the experience looks like really good. If I talk about it's definitely on par with the most premium headset Quest Pro. it has a pass-through capability. It has hand tracking and everything within the headset. It has like QR tracking and everything. Since the payment is a big deal in India, so I think they know what they're doing with the headset.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not just criticizing them. It's just certain suggestions and everything. But I guess even they know that see-through is the final destination. I guess every XR company knows see-through is the final destination, and pass-through headsets are just a stepping stone till we get to that point. But yeah, it's great they're doing it in India.
So what's your take on this elite headsets? इनका क्या market है? क्या लगता है?
So it depends upon which, because the dynamics are too different. I mean, in US, $1,000 is not premium.
Not
You
premium.
can spend more. And in India, $1,000 is too much. Especially when you have Quest 2 kind of headset already available on Amazon with all the import and everything, was something, I guess, 45,000.
38.
It's a शुरू हो जाता है. It's like now 75 के हिसाब से अगर आज के डेट से डॉलर से देखा जाए तो वही $500-600. तो that's something very challenging now. $1,000 का हेडसेट यार कैसे बेचोगे? वो भी जब आपके सामने Quest 2 जैसा इतना बड़ा कॉम्पिटिटर है, जिसका लाइब्रेरी इतना बड़ा है, जिसका मार्केट इतना बड़ा और फीचर्स इतने ज़्यादा हैं, और जो एक्चुअली लोगों ने यूज़ किया, रिव्यूज़ हैं. So the elite market of, I think we should talk about overall global market of elite headsets. In that segment, the company that I like and that is doing a very sensible thing is Vario. Vario headsets. I just a couple of minutes ago I saw that they are working with Tata Steels in Netherlands, creating some simulation for them, and they are sticking to B2B. No price compromise, no quality compromise. Don't want to go BTC, don't want to be the messiah of XR industry. They are, I don't know many people who would, have an average knowledge of XR, even know about that company. So they are doing their thing. So yeah, in AR/VR also everybody has this disease of becoming the messiah. Like I am going to bring revolution, I will be the change. They are not doing it, and they are, one of the best I can say in the. If you have money, go for Vario.
Quality is crazy.
Not. It's like 6,000-7,000.
Yeah, that's why I said if you have money. That's why I said if you have money, go for it. So they are doing it. So yeah, so premium I would say is that, and Quest Pro they themselves have discontinued it, and they also I think tricked the market with a product, kind of did a small experiment into it, and I think they have got a really bad feedback from the market.
I'm using Quest Pro quite frequently. Quest Pro की controller का अलग ही scene है. So it's like it snaps. It takes a lot of time to actually snaps in physical and virtual controller. They sink in so much time. Every time like it takes like it's noticeable 15-16 seconds to get in the right position.
And the battery is also very good. Losing
very bad. The docking station is very bad. But it takes a lot of trials and error to like dock them correctly.
Avi, the best thing is that it can track even behind your head.
Yeah, so that's why, I'm not justifying, but...
And I've been making cameras on the controller. They have cameras even on the controller.
The docking station doesn't work with every charger. It works with specifically that particular charger. That is one biggest problem. It should work with like the chargers as well. That is, I think there are a lot of issues with the station controller thing.
I have created some experiences in which you have to put your hand behind. So for example, in cricket, if you are throwing a cricket ball, your hand goes behind the cameras and then your game goes behind the performance. So in those cases, this controller is really good. But I think overall, though, it's not good. I mean, the battery consumption is also very high. It consumes battery like a Rift 1 controller. And so optimization was there also required. But the best thing that Meta did optimized it completely, lose the production. And now they're coming out with Quest 3. So that's a very smart move.
So, the Quest Pros, they had the stereo cameras for, it's called simultaneous localization and mapping, or SLAM. So, and it had an onboard, I believe, Snapdragon or some other ARM chipset,
Yeah.
which was computing it on board as well. So I would say the initial idea and was nice. Thus the execution was very bad. If implemented properly, it would have been a game changer. But for the Quest 3 now, again, they've gone back to controllers, rimless controllers, but which use hand tracking itself mostly to guide that. The SLAM thing would have worked very well and could have been a good thing. It's just, I guess it needed optimization and polishing, and now they just left it entirely. So it would have been, good for, say, full body trackers or anything that was, because it can track things individually. It can track its location without even needing the headset. Location as in not just rotation, but even six-axis position.
6 axis.
So it could have been good. I wish they could have done it better, and it costed lesser. There are some other approaches to it as well in the car, perhaps.
Lastly, we wanted to release this podcast at the time of the Apple Vision Pro launch, right? That was the timing which we missed. Now it's time to rant about what Apple did with Vision Pro. Are you guys happy with the headset, the sensors on top of this, the overall project, the price, the way they launched it, and the upcoming dates and everything? So, are you guys happy with the Vision Pro? Do you think that Apple did justice?
I don't think so. They hyped it up to be the next iPhone moment, but it turned out to be Apple Maps. So a lot of things would have been fixed. Some things were purely gimmicky, like the eyesight, wherein they have 4 cameras tracking your eyes and then showing where your eyes are looking at or not looking at on the display in the front. Again, see-through solves that problem, but it's purely gimmicky. When a year or so ago, when I first heard about it, that they're going to have 3 displays, 1 big display and 2 displays in front, I thought it's going to be something for focus adjustment, wherein all 3 displays are towards your eyes. But when I heard about the flip thing, it was very disappointing. One more thing that personally bugged me was that they called it Vision Pro. Like, I'm the founder of Vision Tech Innovations Private Limited for around 3 years now, with the trademarks and everything, and calling it Vision Pro, that's kind of fine. Kind of annoying, but that's fine. So, more about the headset. I don't know why they made it wired. A lot of people might like it, but none of those people would actually use wired headphones if they...
I hate wired. I hate that wired. I hate that 20-minute battery pack which comes with it. Everything is so disappointing.
Even, if you consider weight, if someone justifies it with weight, if they removed the extra battery case and the cable and instead just strapped it at the back, it would probably have been the same weight, if not lighter. I don't know, maybe they had the reason. Maybe they want to sell it separately in the future. Maybe because they want to sell a different back strap with multiple colors for different uses or whatever. Peak Apple. Even the connector, I don't think it's a round connector. It's not C-type.
I think they want to also sell virtual reality backpacks with just battery in a back and you carry it on.
I hope not, but that's Apple. You never know.
It's Apple.
Battery, yeah.
Pro backup.
So, and still, even with a wired extra battery pack, they say 2 hours of battery or lesser. And I'm not even sure how they're able to achieve that, because if you're using a laptop processor, an M2 processor with another R1 chip, the TDP, the consumption would be higher. So, it's good that they used a flagship processor, but battery is going to be a big issue. It would have been better if they, maybe used a top strap, maybe added somewhere else in the headset. They basically could have solved it, but I guess they purposely chose not to, so in that they can support future iterations and solve it then.
What I think is they did it in a hurry. They were like missing the dates every year, and they were like, okay, if I didn't shoot something this year, we are going to miss it completely. So I think they in a hurry release whatever they had and come up with a solution. Okay, we'll add battery separately completely. I don't think it's a finished product at all.
Yeah, it's a first-gen product, but I don't think that's a good excuse.
Nobody nails nobody nails VR at consumer level in the very first attempt. I mean, very rarely. Who has done
But
it?
there is enough data to know what to exactly build, right? Like there's very small things they could have fixed easily. Like remove the eyesight, decrease the cost by $500. Like let's do that. Lot more people would buy it. Or a lot more things can be done with headsets. It's just that they definitely really chose not to. Be it not providing controllers, or plus I don't think 14 cameras were required anyways. I don't know why 4 cameras were used for eye tracking. Probably only to show the eyes in the front as well as track them, or maybe track their actual 3D position and not just where they're looking at. But bottom mounted cameras at first seem like a good decision, considering their interface is just clicking with your hands down. But again, that's just very, very restrictive. Because if you look at, say, the fictional inspiration, be it Edith, Eddie Pemi, or whatever, all those, or Iron Man overall, the interfaces you actually get to interact with them, you get to touch things. Maybe not feel without gloves, but things are moving around you in 3D and you get to touch them. They're not just 2D floating screens and you're looking at a button and then clicking it. Sure, it might be a good experience for some users. Seems a bit lazy, but maybe some people would like it. Definitely not me. I would much rather interact with windows and rather 3D objects or games with my hands, if not controllers, than just looking at them and pinching. But I guess they did well with that part.
Mohit, what do you think about this?
For me, so I would, because Nikhil has said already the drawbacks. So I would say the good points about it. The good thing is that Apple is into AR and VR now. VR with the hardware, and they are kind of people who like to struggle also. They have the money, they have the team, they have everything that requires to struggle in a market. And I just wish now the audience, the Apple got a user base that picks up anything Apple just because it's Apple. They just support it initially and give them enough runaway.
They just make it a trend for others to like.
I just want this one just survives and they get enough feedback from their loyal user base that they finally nail into the next one. So as I said that rarely I have seen any company nailing the VR headset in the very first version of it. So if Apple is not able to nail it 100%, no problem. Maybe the next one will do. I just wish कि उतना उसको mileage मिले.
What I like about this is the name, the Pro.
And I wish
Pro
कि
suggests there
Meta
be one cheaper. Yeah.
And I wish कि कुछ Apple versus Meta भी हो market में, so that each of them keep.
But different markets, very different price ranges.
Yeah, very different. I mean, I am really surprised by the fact that Meta is completely out of PC VR, dedicated PC VR. आप Quest में केबल लगा के चला लो, it doesn't give you the quality the stability that dedicated PC VR headset can give you.
Yeah, PCVR overall has very stagnated. Like, I can't think of anything good. Oh, the Valve Deckard will be coming, but might be a good step up again. But
no, PCVR is very much helpful for us to create simulators.
Yeah,
we create simulators, we need PCVR. And
definitely.
At that place, Quest 2 is not.
Yeah, of course. Quest 2 is not stable with that. And also, there's no pass-through support in the desktop version, PC Link version.
Yeah, and it's not stable. It's very much कभी भी connection आपका वो निकल जाएगा.
Yeah, entire app will crash.
Yeah. You can't, HDMI versus USB-C. And that too, Rift में तो HDMI plus USB आता है. So, I don't know why Meta is completely gone from this market, but I wish the rivalry of, I don't want, monopoly is not good for any market. So Pico is also giving it some competition now. And I wish
HP is there, Pico is there, which
HP
do this. Yeah.
HP Reverb G2 is there, I guess.
Reverb G2, yeah.
PCVR.
Are they still selling it?
Yeah, they do. And also, there is one more company from India, Question What's Real, which is sending the desktop focused VR headsets.
VR1, right?
VR1, yes.
So those companies can definitely do something in PC VR. because I don't understand this habit of Meta completely disappearing from our market. From 3DOF also they completely disappeared. का Oculus Go उन्होंने close किया फिर Pro तो चलो experiment ही था. But
I think उनका Quest was such a good product at such a good price point, has everything what it required to like be a perfect headset, that like उनका वो जरूरत भी खत्म हो गया 3DOF market में रहने का. And also same with the high price elite market, उसमें भी उन्होंने Quest Pro जो था अपना वापस इसीलिए ले लिया कि Quest 2 was 2 and 3 are going to be like good enough for this entire VR generation.
But at some points now you just need 3DOF and cheap 3DOF. I mean, if they could have decreased the price and they could have just come out with a 3DOF headset, just let it be in the market, then it would have been a really good thing for creating kiosk type of solutions in which you just have to show 360 media to people in stereoscopic quality. So there you need a 3DOF headset. You don't need 6DOF. In fact, I was talking to some of the gaming arena owners. They were saying that they just want their players to shoot. They don't want them to jump. They don't want them to track their whole body, everything in just the first match.
I was playing one game in a 3DOF headset. The game was related to pirates, and I just love that game. You just have to aim, and there is a projectile throw on the pirate ships, and I just pretty love that game. It was like really well made, really engaging. So these headsets also can do really good job, and also content streaming for that they are best.
Yeah, actually, if there are, let's say that you have 20-30 people sitting in a auditorium and you want to show them something, उधर आप 6DOF लेकर के जाओगे आपका दिन ट्रैकिंग में निकल जाएगा. There you need something like 3DOF.
Definitely. Definitely. So
like tracking your position or especially tracking your full body is significantly better than just.
You don't need it always, no.
No, it is better. But again, when you are, let's say, doing demos, when you are educating people who have no idea about virtual reality, augmented reality, and stepping first time in the experiences, then definitely 3DOF or no controllers at all, just interacting with hands is a better solution. So a lot of times when that's an niche use case. For introducing somebody for the first time is the best.
Also for 360 media streaming, like 360 videos and content. So if you have 20-30 people in a board meeting, you want to show them the progress at a site, just record the video and show it to them.
I totally agree. Mostly we are going for pitch. Mostly we are going to show our product to somebody important, maybe an investor, and then वो setup करते ही सारा time चला जाए तो मतलब कोई फायदा नहीं.
No, but 6DOF, if it's made accurately, if the headsets get better, then that, and if they get cheaper with economies of scale that they will, then that entirely solves your problem. Going back to 3DOF doesn't sound like any solution to me. It's just
there are many companies who are already selling it, still selling it, and Pico is also developing it.
Yeah, the price range also, the engagement factor.
Price is also a point thing. No? If you are not making a 6DOF headset, then you are completely eliminating the cost of tracking cameras. And that to 2 controllers. I mean, just calculate how many price you are going to save. And if you are creating a solution of 10-20 headsets, you are carrying them, and you don't need to carry two controllers of every headset, then you are decreasing the form factor of your entire collection.
Tracking would solve that, To me, 3DOF versus 6DOF looks as different as using a BlackBerry versus using a touchscreen phone.
But when you buy
a keyboard phone versus a touchscreen phone.
Okay, let's say that hand tracking solves the problem. Which headset is only offering that? And can I buy Quest 2 without controllers?
You need to buy the controllers.
But when I buy the headset, the controllers are there in the box.
Yeah, but it's again so that you get a better experience, right? So that you get more control.
But you told me, but just like you said that for hand tracking se bhi kaam chala sakte.
Yeah, I'm saying if you don't need to carry the controllers everywhere now, especially after I guess the 57th or so update of Meta or even other companies working on it, it's not mandatory to use controllers. And if you don't like controllers, then Apple is building it for you without controllers.
Well, then again, the point of cost is correct.
They will sell
I was
controllers
saying,
separately.
I was saying that 3DOF को भी market में continue करो, but at a smaller price, so that कि streaming content वाला जो segment है, they can just do their stuff. We
I'm
don't want to have in
100%
the-
sure that Apple's gonna sell the controller for like $600 separately.
You don't have
Controller Pro.
Controller Pro. So finally guys, एक और recent news अभी मिला है. Jason Wang जो Nvidia के CEO हैं, and Nvidia is like also a very major part of AI as well as right now driving the force of entire AI as well as XR as well, क्योंकि ग्राफिक कार्ड्स का एक मेजर यूज़ होता है कोई भी आप ग्राफिक प्रोडक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हो. सो गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री, वर्चुअल रियलिटी इंडस्ट्री, ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन directly on this NVIDIA. Recently they have like few months back they have crossed the $1 trillion ka evaluation, as well as right now he's in India, so meeting our prime minister as well. What you have thought, are they going to like start production in India or maybe add more labs in India? क्या बात हो सकता है, क्या लग रहा है तुम लोगों को?
So Nvidia, I would say, is doing great. Be it's riding every wave that's coming. First crypto and mining and everything, and again stock price. Then be it XR and metaverse. So for visualizing, developing, or viewing, or doing anything, you need good GPUs. Again, Nvidia wins. And now AI, training AI, a lot of companies are buying thousands and tens of thousands of GPUs to train basically their models. So yeah, it's like they're riding every wave, they're winning it here. In India meeting, I guess it's part of G20 or something on those lines. I haven't read much about it. But about developing in India, I guess Vedanta started a contract of partnership with Foxconn to manufacture 28 nanometers of processors in India with displays. Then I guess Foxconn backed out because of several reasons, and Vedanta's and from the government's end. Traffic controversy हुई about the state being Gujarat. And now I guess they announced a while ago they were to it alone, but they were new, 40 nanometer processors only. So it's a good step in the right direction, but it's actually way behind China or Europe. It's like, at 40 nanometers, the best thing you can get is like a Raspberry Pi. Your phone, if you have a modern normal phone, its processor would use 11 or 7 nanometer lithography. So upcoming headsets are going to have 4 nanometer kind. And GPUs are again much more powerful than CPUs. So a GPU being manufactured in India, I hope we see some progress towards that, but I don't think in the next 10 years also it's powerful.
Also, adding on to the same question, when we come to NVIDIA and the way we connect it to Metaverse is the Omniverse. NVIDIA has announced a lot of things when the Metaverse was announced by Meta, right? So they have shown a lot of progress in the way computer graphics are being performed. Do you guys think a headset from NVIDIA can be there in the future? They have experience in chipset manufacturing. Can they develop the entire product?
NVIDIA or the Intel CPUs or NVIDIA Neptune, they work on the x86 architecture, like your laptops.
Like a laptop, yeah.
Are x86 laptops and PCs are x86 architecture. Whereas headsets, be it by Apple, be it any chip by Qualcomm or MediaTek, or your phones or a Raspberry Pi, they're all based on ARM. So ARM is basically more power efficient. It's not there yet in terms of, say, processing power compared to what NVIDIA or AMD are able to provide. But it's still pretty good. Like, it's called the 8550, or I believe it will be called the XR2 Gen 2. I would say it's as good as a 1650 or laptop, or maybe better. So I don't think if NVIDIA, NVIDIA graphic cards, they take like 100, 200, 300, 400 watts of power. You can't have kilos of battery from which those graphic cards can run. Even their mobile versions. A gaming laptop is significantly heavier than, say, a tablet or phone. So I don't think they would make their own website as such. but they could definitely, I guess they announced they would be investing in ARM when ARM's IPO comes. So definitely they're interested in it, but again, I guess they'll just take a back seat and make tools or other development platforms for it instead of actually being the forefront at the it. Like Omniverse or the Golden or other AI tools or even hardware to run those tools. They would definitely work on that. I really don't think they would ever work on a headset of some sort.
I think the same. I don't think they're ever gonna work on a headset. What do you think, Mohit?
Yeah, so NVIDIA is very much, super usto kind of player in the market. So the most interesting thing that I heard about NVIDIA and in the most best comparison of it was with the gold rush in America.
Yes.
People say that during the gold rush, more money was made by people who need shovels. जिनने फावड़ा बनाया, जिनने गोल्ड रश माइनिंग वाले इक्विपमेंट बनाए, उन्होंने माइनस से ज़्यादा पैसा बनाया था गोल्ड रश के टाइम पर. NVIDIA इज ऑल्सो द सेम थिंग. कुछ भी आता है NVIDIA के मेटावर्स का हाइप आया था, इस पर भी आपको ग्राफिक कार्ड चाहिए. अभी इनका जो मीटिंग हुआ मोदी से, उसमें इन्होंने मेंशन AI को कोई वाला पार्ट भी. But yes, just like Nitin said, it's more on the context on G20, for which he has come. But from that, there are 60,000 bombers in India, as I can see in their website. For, well, his visit is, well, I don't think it's more than something which is complimentary in intervals. What? So, NVIDIA, in the Make in India push, they will be including a part in India also, like identify the way. So that's one thing that seen by coming out of this meeting, and I'm hacking to graphic card or system. Charabon को जो भी करना पड़ा, क्योंकि ये सबसे बड़ा entry barrier और down a net for we standalone आने की वजह से अब तक graphic card को एक खाना खड़ा बना है. But
recently I have started working in robotics as well. So what I have seen कि जो NVIDIA है वो जेटसन नैनो के थ्रू रोबोटिक्स में भी इंडिया के अंदर काफ़ी मेक इन इंडिया को पुश करना चाह रहा है. They are running a lot of programs related to make in India, and as well as they have a very accelerated program भी उनका काफ़ी अच्छा चल रहा है. They also are coming up with a lot of generative AI workshops and all for startups and everyone. So वैसा भी कुछ एक पुश देखने को मिल रहा है इंडिया में, काफ़ी पैर जमाने का वहाँ पे सीन चल रहा है इनका, which is actually good for Indian industries and everybody who's creating something in India. It's a really good.
Basically, just in the Jetson Nano was lying around there.
Yes.
No, I guess it is. I'm not sure if it's still in production, but it's fairly small. So it's like a mini PC. Again, it's based on ARM, so it draws significantly lesser power. You can power it with your PC or just a normal battery or DC, and you can do mostly everything that you can do with the same mid-range to low-range laptop hub. And it has this integrated CPU, GPU, and everything. So just showing me it was lying around because you mentioned.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. And this was the Tech Reality Podcast episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope we shared some good knowledge about virtual reality and overall tech industry, which is related to the reality realm. Keep suggesting your suggestions. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment. And if you want, you can like and share with your friends who are enthusiasts of AI, virtual reality, augmented reality. And see you really soon with another episode. So, Nikhil and Mohit, you guys want to say bye?
So, yeah, thanks, Avi. Thanks for having me. Let's do this podcast more often.
And if we miss something, please add in the comments. Yeah, and if you want us to
and if
talk
we are
about something
wrong about anything, please correct us also in the comments.
So this is like, we started a discussion among ourselves. Now we are doing a podcast, and we want more and more people to join us, to join the conversation, right? So yeah, so come in, start commenting.
Awesome. So soon we'll invite more people from the industry, and they will join our with the group of 3. They'll be there, and they'll join us on the panel, and we'll discuss more insights about the industry in several perspectives and several ways.
So if anyone wants to connect, you can check the links under the description, and we definitely respond very soon. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
I'll add all the handles in the description and see you soon.
No worries.